To our global CTKS family, we're grateful that you're here. All of us together make this one of the best communities on YouTube. Here, we use the world's leading indicator of price, the CTKS method, to give us X-ray vision across stocks, cryptos, forex, commodities, and yields. So we can see what the top 1% in financial markets see before the move happens. That's a license to print money and a way to stay safe. Whilst others are panicked, we are calm. When others guess, we stack probabilities. We don't fall for hype or stories, we profit from reality. We know making just 3.5% per week is a 498% profit per year. We are the elite 1% in financial markets. Price moves in waves, so no matter if price is going up or down, please be kind to yourself, be kind to others, be dedicated and committed, and never blame. Instead, learn and grow into the best version of yourself. Let's see what the markets are doing today. We can see over the past 3 days, Bitcoin has come back and tested that trend line. The most important thing is your mindset. You must control your emotions to see success. If fear or greed is what you feel, your account will bleed. It's all too real. When looking at liquidations, these areas represent maximum pain. The market moves towards maximum pain, but it does so structurally, so it's really important to understand how maximum pain and structure intercorrelate. The Fed cut the interest rate by 25 basis points, as absolutely anticipated. The AI revolution is in full swing and jobs are starting to vanish. The most important thing inside markets is not to be emotional, and that's really difficult when you put your hard-earned money on the line. Emotions are the things that control your buy and sell. And this is called emotional trading. If we look into Bitcoin, you'll notice that really big wick. It was rejected. Now, why was it rejected? The answer, of course, is structure. So let's have a look at structure. Structure is your key to price action. Understanding where the strong structure is not optional. If you don't understand where the structure is, you're just going to guess. You can look at the liquidation heat maps, then they can give you some idea as to where markets are pricing in pain. But the issue is, the structure will always determine everything. The entire crypto market was supported at this 111,200 level. When we zoom in, it makes a little bit more sense. This particular support level of 111,200 is really, really important. If we manage to flip this into structural support, and it is very early days yet, a lot of people say as soon as it leaves its structural support, but that's not often the case. Price can rebound, it can move all over the place. We must keep our eyes on structural passes and structural failures. Inside the Profiting Masterclass, I talk about this a lot. Remember, the key is to disconnect from any emotion, guarding or driving your trade. Unfortunately, if you're emotional, you will pay the cost, and the cost will always be the same: learning. You can be part of the 10% and be free, because 90% of people lose money inside markets because they react without scientific structure. They simply don't know where the support levels are, where the resistance levels are, and as a result, they just can't figure out what's going on. Let's say that you were looking into BNB. One of the things to understand, the markets reflect collective pain. Panic and greed, they're in the game. So when you see something like this is wholesale panic. Panic requires more and more structural levels to rebound price. For example, when we look at BNB, what is this underpinning structure of BNB? We can see pretty plainly that up here was a level of fairly solid structural overhead resistance at around that 1150 mark. We didn't get up to there. We did a structural failure on the 1136. Negative CTKS gap, lots and lots of panic, stronger lines, stronger signs, lots and lots of structural support underneath, and that reflected price. Now, why did it reflect price, and what causes these cascading decreases in price? Many people will say it's manipulation. It isn't actually manipulation at all. What happens inside the order book, as people understand that the price is coming down, the sellers start to exit their positions and the buyers move their buy orders down further. So the buy orders are moved down further, the sellers hop on the current price and sell it at market. The two forces just move together to push price like this. As soon as we come into structural support, the buyers start to get back into the market and the sellers say, well, I'm not dumping this thing, you're going to pay a higher price. And they start to lift their sell orders. This is why a lot of people just simply don't understand that these areas are gravitational by nature. And you can see at around this 1111, that is a really important structural level. And also down here at around that 1098, the gaps can get very, very volatile, both to the downside and to the upside. That's why we pay a lot of attention to them. But you can see success comes from overcoming fear. It's very difficult to be unemotional unless you know structure. When you see structure, if you're getting structural passes, you can go in with more confidence. Always understanding the price is simply moving in a wave. It's always up, it's always down, and rebounding, but it's structurally controlled. The key is this: when you find price is weakening, always make sure that you manage your downside risk. Focus on losing the least. You'll find the markets cause emotional overload. It's the truth. It's just the code of the markets. So that means we need a lot of science to back up our positions. When we look at total crypto market cap, and inside the Profiting Masterclass, I talk about the requirement to look at Bitcoin structurally, look at total structurally, and also to look at total crypto market cap in conjunction with the Bitcoin levels and also your money chart. All three together will give you a very, very good fear-off basis for trading the markets. Looking into total crypto market cap, what is the structure of total crypto market cap? This is a really important question. You can see up around that $3.77 trillion level, there was a lot of overhead structure. We did our structural fails. As soon as you structurally fail, you target lower structural support levels, and you just wonder how they're going to react. Are the safety nets going to be strong enough? When you get a lot of fear, a lot of panic, all the orders will get readjusted in the order book, and we will create things like this. But when the buyers come in at structural levels, it can reverse it very quickly, but it always does it to structural levels. Understanding how structure interplays between charts is wildly important, and structure is always read to the right, never to the left, always to the right. When I go back in time, I'm just explaining how this level of structure worked. So when we look at total crypto market cap right now, we can see that it's starting to get above this area of once resistance, and you can see that resistance was popped over and we've come back to it. This is a fairly key level inside the markets at the moment. It's a little bit weaker than these confluences down at around that 3.7. And just remember, up around 3.6765 and 3.77, this is the area that we want to head to. And we could head there relatively quickly because we've got a positive CTKS gap. Remember, the market is not about being right. It's about keeping your focus tight, focused on structure. The key is never to buy and sell based on feelings. You control your response to structural levels and market momentum. That's your focus. Remember, the market pulls from millions of thoughts. Millions of people are looking at things so differently to you. And a lot of people think that the markets are a zero-sum game. It's not the truth. There is not somebody sitting on the other side of the computer screen trying to take all your money. And if you win, you haven't taken other people's money either. You've just simply decoded the problem that the market throws at you. And problems are always structurally based. So when you understand the structure, you understand the markets. But you must disconnect your emotion. We can therefore see, in terms of Bitcoin price, as soon as we get around and above around that 111,600 mark, we are off to the races if we get this follow through. And this is quite a level of structural resistance and potentially structural support. So we must keep our eye on the 111,200. It's absolutely vital. If we get a structural pass on this, we're heading back up to the 112,950. If we get a structural failure around that 111,200, we're moving back to the 110,450. Just keep an eye on the structure. Remember, disconnect from emotion. And I have a really good song for you today. It's called The Market's Game. It's an absolute ripper. It will absolutely help you out. And then after that, we'll go through the cheat sheet.
Yeah. The most important thing is your mindset. Control emotions to see success. If fear or greed is what you feel, your account will bleed. It's all too real. The market moves towards maximum pain. Loss comes from emotions that you entertain. Greed and fear, they cause the loss. If you're emotional, you'll pay the cost. The market reflects collective pain. Panic or greed, they're in the game. 90% fail, it's plain to see. But you can be part of the 10%, be free. Success comes from overcoming fear. The less emotional, the more you steer. Risk your capital, don't be afraid. Don't chase the profit, let it be made. Focus on losing the least. CTKS will give you peace. Markets cause emotional overload. That's the truth, it's the code. You won't win all the time, that's clear. But losses are lessons that bring you near. Control the downside, focus on the flow. Make more than you lose, that's how you grow. Don't fight the trend, let it go. Profit comes from knowing when to show. The market is not about being right. It's about keeping your focus tight. Certainty destroys profits fast, and uncertainty profits last. Success comes from overcoming fear. The less emotional, the more you steer. Risk your capital, don't be afraid. Don't chase the profit, let it be made. Focus on losing the least. CTKS will give you peace. Never buy and sell based on feelings. You control your response, that's the meaning. The market pulls from millions of thoughts, but the unemotional will take the lots. If you gamble, the house will win. Big returns from zero knowledge, that's sin. The market will teach you until you change. Certainty's a lie, let your strategy arrange. Stay humble, always learn. Arrogance will make your profits burn. Buy and sell with emotional control. Intercorrelation is the goal. Buying and selling's not a race. Compete with yourself, not the chase. Your gain is your lesson, your loss too. Money secondary, control is what you pursue. Success comes from overcoming fear. The less emotional, the more you steer. Risk your capital, don't be afraid. Don't chase the profit, let it be made. Focus on losing the least. CTKS will give you peace. You make most in a downtrend, you'll see. But it's patience that sets you free. The market's a device that takes from haste, but patience rewards with profits in place. Success comes from overcoming fear. The less emotional, the more you steer. Risk your capital, don't be afraid. Don't chase the profit, let it be made. Focus on losing the least. CTKS will give you peace.
If you found a new knowledge gem or learnt something new, please share it in the comments. We are a community of abundance, not scarcity. If you're new, we would love for you to become part of our global family. All you need to do is smash like, subscribe, press the notification bell, and comment on what time it is now. Doing this shows that you are committed to forging a better life for yourself and the ones that you love. With financial literacy, you can become recession-proof. Trading and investing are lifelong professions. Tourists visit during bull markets only to get wiped out, but professionals stay no matter the market conditions because they know that making just 3% per week is a 365% return per year. We are the elite 1% in financial markets. You will create security and financial freedom in direct proportion to your willingness to learn and grow, and never blame. If you commit, your world will improve immediately. If you're going through a life pullback, our love and healing thoughts are with you. The sun will come out again. There is always hope. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Show gratitude and happiness, and you'll already feel richer today, and today is all we ever really have. Kate and I very much look forward to joining you again in the next video.